Hello, my name is Grin, and this is my beard. So, today's crumb that I'm pulling out of my beard is about sometimes just don't have anything to say. Like, there are certain times where I don't even know what I'm thinking or what I want to talk about. And maybe it's just because I'm tired, I don't know. But this is one of those times where I just can't think of anything that I want to get off of my chest and talk about. So I'm making a video to talk about how I'm making a video because I have to keep in the habit of doing it. And I'm just racking my brain as to what I want to say or what I even have to say. And I don't really have anything to say. And I think that's okay in this case because nobody's watching my videos, which is fine. I don't need people to watch my videos. I just need to keep being consistent so that if somebody does watch the video, then maybe they'll get something out of it. If not, doesn't matter. I'm getting something out of it. I'm getting the I'm gonna call it discipline to keep doing something over and over again. So let's go back to that discipline because there is something that I'm there is something that I'm doing, and that's studying how to write Japanese. So, speaking Japanese isn't enough. I need to be better at writing it. And so I am taking courses at Kumon in Japan, and I'm writing uh, 20, doing 20 pages of stuff per day. Most of it's reading, so it's pretty easy. Reading and reading Japanese stories, and it's just like really simple stuff like um, the whale swims in the ocean, the owl sits on the tree branch, stuff like that. And so it's not too bad, but then I have to write the words, the kana for whatever those things might be. Like it'll be fukuro or owl, or it'll be kujira for whale, or something like that. Well, so it's good for writing and good for reading. It's not difficult, but I know it's going to get more difficult the more I do it, and trying to do as much as possible so that I can get to the more difficult stuff quicker. Although the last, I actually had to do 40 pages that I had already done. I did them twice because my teacher forgot that she gave me double the pages. The first time I went there and she gave me a bunch of pages, like 80 pages to take home. Like, can I get more? And so no, she gave me 50 pages, and I asked if I could get like double that because I'm feeling like I want to do more. And I did all of those 100 pages, and then I wasn't able to go to the next day, and so she gave me 50 pages or 40 pages, but they were all stuff that I had already done. And so I was like, okay. And then the next time I went, I actually went there and I did 20 pages there at the school with all these kids, you know, being very noisy and whatnot. And I'm like, wow, so this is a cram school in Japan. A bunch of kids being noisy. And it didn't seem like they really cared about their fellow students and their concentration. But didn't bother me. I was still able to get my work done. Nobody bothers me because I'm the old man in the room. Yeah, whatever it takes, whatever it takes. I'm kind of hoping that it makes my wife happier because she's been telling me for a very long time, you need to practice Japanese. You need to do better. And she's right. But then again, she's always right. So that's just the way it goes. So I'm practicing with all these little kids, and I got some more pages to do. And I'll probably do, 20 pages before I go to bed tonight. Cool. So that's the gist of it for that. I got something pretty cool coming up. I've got a friend uh, south, way south of the big city, Niigata City, and he invited me to go out and watch what is it, Spawn 3 that's in the theaters with a bunch of friends. And I don't really I, Spawn, yeah, it was all right. It's not the best movie. Not Spawn. Was it? Why am I saying Spawn? Venom. Geez, Spawn. Wow, Spawn back in the day. I liked that movie. Spawn was cool. Spawn was a cool movie. I like that one. No, Venom. Venom 3. Anyways, um, I watched Venom 1 and Venom 2 with my daughter. She seemed to like it. Thought it was pretty funny. She's old enough to watch it, but my son, he's only 7, so maybe he shouldn't be watching it. But she likes how I can imitate his voice. Eddie, let's eat brains. That kind of thing. And so every now and then she'll be doing something. I'll be like, Malika, let's eat brains. A little bit different, and it's easier to do it after I've watched the movie. Then I can sound just like him. But after some time has gone by, I can't do it as well. Hmm. I don't need to. It's just something funny. She would say, "Oh, you sound just like Venom." Okay, it's cool. Something that she enjoys, and I don't mind doing it because it's fun. Um, so going to meet my friends that I haven't been able to see in a while since I live kind of in the countryside, far away from the city. I don't get a chance to go and see my friends very much. So be a nice change of pace. Same guy who came to my Halloween party, and I went to his Halloween party there. So um, perfect, works out. And he's got two girls. One's almost the same age as my daughter, so they get along quite nicely. Fantastic. That kind of thing is the kind of support that you need as a parent or father living in Japan. If you're gonna have a family in Japan, I do suggest that you study Japanese. Don't be lazy like me. The only study that I did when I came to Japan was going to uh, bars and whatnot, and where I knew people wouldn't speak English, and forcing myself to learn new Japanese. And the only phrase that I had that was even helpful was uh, "Nanika wa Nihongo de nan to imasu ka?" It could be anything. I told that story a few videos back, but using that, I learned all kinds of different Japanese. Um, but now it's to the point where I need a little bit more focused study instead of getting drunk and learning a few new words here and there. Now the first couple years, not having any Japanese ability was really difficult. It wasn't until the third year where I started to get enough Japanese to really understand and communicate some of my ideas. And it wasn't until, you know, I guess 10 years of no longer studying anymore, where picking up small pieces here and there, I was able to, speak more complicated uh, topics in Japanese. It's still difficult, but I'm getting better. I hope. My daughter says that my Japanese is terrible, but she speaks Japanese fluently and English fluently. So, I guess I don't mind being judged by her. She seems like a good person to be judged by. I kind of I admire her for what she's got, being able to speak English and Japanese and read English and Japanese. It's just I know it's a lot of work. She's worked 8 years to get to no, well, 7 years, right? Yeah, about 7 years. No, six, not even 7 years. 5 years. Well, yeah, I guess it could be 7 years because you really start learning a language when you're 0 years old, but you don't really start learning how to use the language until you're about 3 years old. About 8 years. Okay, there you go. 8 years. And I've been in Japan for this long, and her Japanese is already better than mine. So obviously, I'm falling behind a lot. I know it's a lot more difficult to learn a language later than it is to learn a language earlier, because for her, she's learning the language, whereas I'm having to forget a language. I'm having to forget English in order to speak Japanese, because you can't go around speaking Japanese by thinking in English and then translating it into Japanese, because you're going to miss the nuances. You're going to screw up the grammar and use the wrong words. So you need to be able to think in the language that you are trying to speak. And I mean, I can do that, but it's nowhere near as good as I can in English, obviously, because I just don't have the vocabulary in Japanese. So if you want to learn a new language and you haven't learned that language past 6 years old, basically you're having to forget what you knew in order to learn a new language. My 2 cup theory. So these are the things that were on in my beard today. Not a whole lot. Nothing super great. Nothing special. My UFO video was way better. Check that out. Learn about my UFO story. My first UFO encounter, I should say. It's not even a UFO. I don't know. Entity encounter, time loss, something like that. I have no idea. Just a weird thing that happened to me in my life. You should check out that story, because it's pretty fun. All right. Well, it's fun now. Wasn't fun when it happened, but you can get more of that from watching that video. Anyways, thanks and have a great night. Bye now.